Well, after a solid, unbeaten start as Southend United, with our new players gelling pretty nicely, we're going to come back and do something a bit unprecedented over the next two episodes. We've got a run of 6 games that on paper look fairly enticing, followed by a month and a half of pretty friendly fixtures that we should get results in. As a result of that, this episode and Saturday's one will be a double, triple header. We're going to play all of the next 6 games on camera, most of them against the top sides, and see how we fare in all competitions. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 102 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today for big Premier League clashes against Manchester United and Arsenal, regular contenders at the top and an Arsenal side that's a bit resurgent. In between that, we've got a trip to Turkey where we're going to play most of the backup team, but it gives you a chance to see some of the faces that you haven't yet, as well as seeing how strong our squad is. If you're looking forward to all of it, as the focus is firmly on the football in the next 2 episodes, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. But for now, we've got to get 3 games squeezed into this one. So let's go straight through to the schedule and see what's been happening since you were last here. Although a significant amount of time has passed, there's not actually been a huge number of games because of this stupid 4-week international break from mid-September to October. You were with me for Liverpool and deadline day, a brilliant performance at home to Liverpool. We followed it up with a win away at West Ham in the Carabao Cup. A late consolation made it look close up, but a 2-1 win, Teddy Ivanov with a brace, a really comfortable victory. A 4-1 win away at Hull in the Premier League. Again, annoying that we threw away the clean sheet late on, but a Yukalano brace and one each for the front two, Kranjic and Wills, made it very comfortable. We then won 3-1 away at Leipzig, a great performance from Dion Kranjic. He got 2, Yukalano got 1. A 6-3 win against Leeds with a rotated side. We sort of gambled early here. We went, let's go and win the first 2 Champions League games and trust our backup team to get a result in the league. In the end, we did have to make a few subs to get results, but we managed to get a comfortable win. Ashley Carr got a 100th minute penalty to get off the mark for the club. Before that, it was a Teddy Ivanov brace and one each for Adamson, Vasquez and Jimenez, a very South American vibe to some of our goal scorers recently. A 3-0 win at home to Hoffenheim saw an instant success on return for Peter Bernberg. He was joined by goals for Dion Kranjic and for Luis Vasquez in the second half. And then last time out, probably the first disappointment of the season, a 2-2 draw against struggling Forest. We did equalise in the 95th minute, albeit there was only supposed to be 3 added on. I'm sure Forest will be right into VAR and the PGMOL again, but Joe Wills and Kranjic did get us from behind twice. And to be fair, it's a disappointing result against a relegation contender, but given the circumstances, it could be a big point. We stay unbeaten, which is crucial, and we now go into a run of 6 games that are massive. You can see this episode, United, Galatasaray, Arsenal. The next one, we've drawn City in the Carabao Cup. I tell you what, the FM gods do not want us to win that competition based on the draws we've had. That episode will be Everton and Atletico Madrid as well. And then you can see we've got a sort of a lull in the fixtures. A lot of games you'd expect to win or be unbeaten in. And the Champions League one's probably the least appetising. We'll then come back around Christmas where Villa, Chelsea, City looks a cracking little time. Let's go and get through to the first of today's triple header though. The dynamics are about as good as they've been for a long time. Memic wasn't unhappy because he was injured during the window, so we didn't sell him. Branda's always unhappy. And then De Angelis, he's still asking for a new deal, but it's not affecting his performances in truth. You can see Liverpool have just lost their second game of the season today. The first one was against us. That brings Chelsea back into contention too. And it looks like, maybe bar United, all the big boys are right up there this season. Let's see if United try and change that today. We've been brilliant at home to City. We've been ruthless at home to Liverpool. We're coming up against Florian Wirtz, who was so good for us at Bayern in the head coach. We've got Mino in holding midfield and original. Trubin in goal, quality player. Manchester United, they've been up there the last couple of years. But this season, they just look like they're dwindling a bit. I wonder if that will continue today. This is the 11 I've gone for. I would go as far as to say that at the moment, it's my first choice team, bar maybe Yukalano, who, to be fair, has been one of the stars this season. He came back with a knock from international duty. Vasquez the same on the left. So I've stuck with Adamson and Robertson. And then we've got Takazuka there if need be. Means the 11 in full is Jude Sadler in goal. Memic and De Angelis the fullbacks, with Herbert and Sanchez as centre-half. Those two, ironically, haven't actually played together yet for 90 minutes because Herbert's had a few injuries. Then Sanchez was playing in his position, had a bit of fatigue. So it's just not married up. But now we're going to try and build a partnership. We've got Robertson and Adamson out wide, with Bernberg and Jimenez in the middle. Then up front is Kranic and Joe Wills, who have both been in pretty excellent form this year. Let's go and submit the team for the first time today and hope this triple header will start in style. Well, it's 2 changes for Manchester United, and a second one was not predicted by the assistant manager because Rasmus Højlund, another of the originals, comes back in. I think they are the only 2 remaining there. You know, Malo Gusto at right back as well. Poku and Sarpe have caused us countless problems over the years. And Ashley Clifford was a player we were linked with on deadline day, but never came in. Paul Connor is a massive earning right back who can't even get in a team. But I still think on paper, they've got a slightly better squad than us. We've got the lads motivated. We've asked them to prove a point. And they've got to do better than that last game. Because against Forest was the first sign of real weakness this year. The one frustration has been that we've not been able to keep clean sheets. We only had that one in Europe. And we didn't really deserve that. But where we've had changes of goalkeeper, where we've had changes in centre-half partnerships, Memic has been injured. It's kind of understandable. Adamson's picks up an early knock here, but we've also got an early corner, which Joe Wills rises at the back post to head in. Kranic takes the corner, Wills at the back stick. Thought it would be Lewis Herbert like normal, but instead, it is 1-0 to Southend United. I'm not worrying about the Adamson injury for now because it's only a bruise. Vasquez should be back in midweek, as should Giuliano. Takazuka can maybe come on later. As Bernberg goes back to Herbert. Great to have him fit again in the middle, Bernberg. Makes such a difference. Here he is again. What a ball that is to unlock the defence. And Robertson, almost with his first goal for the club. Oh, that's a great opportunity, and it's a very good save. Kranic, though, is on the corner. Chance to put it into the back post again. At this time, it's Herbert he aims for. It's headed away as far as Robertson. Quarter of the game gone. It's been a fairly quiet one. We're 1-0 up, and again, set pieces have been the key factor. As we've got a throw on the left with De Angelis, who's having another very good game. Can understand why he wants to earn more, but his demands are a little silly. As Adamson doesn't look too bruised there, does he? Good mazy run at shots over the bar. We're definitely the better side here, and you can see, maybe so far, and I might be going too early here. Oh, God. Why is the big game curse back? I have changed nothing tactically to be more aggressive or whatever. But now it's Dion Kranic, who's been starting a season like a house on fire. And in his defence, he is a bit more aggressive. But where are these tackles coming from? It was a huge feature in FM23. We've now had it in, 3 of the last 6 or 7 episodes across the 2 saves. It's becoming a little bit too predictable again. It's out of nowhere. What I was about to say there is United have offered nothing yet. I mean, the good news is defensively we've not changed shape, but we will lose a goal threat, and they've equalised from it as well. This is the sort of day that could turn into a disaster. I think he looked on, if I'm being honest, but the goal is disallowed. We get away with one. We've lost that threat in attack. We're going to have to defend well. History would suggest we're not keeping many clean sheets this year. With a man down and a goal up, we've got to try and hold on to this lead now. 5 to the break is still 1-0. United still no shot on target. But this second half is going to be an uphill battle, isn't it? Haven't got a change really for Adamson. So I think we're going to have to stick with him. We're going to ask the lads to prove a point. I don't know what I can do out there. Don't want to go for Teddy Ivanov. Potentially I could go Baranda left back and push De Angelis forward, but it's not natural for either. So I'm just going to stick with it. We've got to half time well. Let's see if we can keep it up second half. If we could hold on to a result here, it would be a big one for the season. Well, it's a free kick for United. 30 yards out, straight off the post. Sadler did not even blink, let alone threaten to dive. It was in if it was a yard further inside. But the post saves us this time. Verts on the corner as the rebound was blocked. Herbert there to head away. Adamson flicks further. He's really struggling, but we just haven't got a replacement. And neither can we get a foothold in this game. Sarpe down the right-hand side. Back to Mainu. 1-1. Going down as an own goal off York Robertson. Missed a sitter in the first half. And now he scored an OG. It's not been a great start for him at the club. But with 55 gone, it was a matter of time. Now it's about whether we can respond or not. And I don't know if we've got enough going forward now as Sadler chips into Bernberg. Plays a 1-2 with his goalkeeper. Not really sure the purpose of that, but De Angelis on the left now can carry forward. He finds Adamson. Joe Wills is not getting on the end of that. Both wingers have been poor. So has Sanchez. That's rash. Nico gets in. Shot's over. I'm not going to wait anymore here. I'm going to make some changes. We're going to go for Drew O'Day at centre-half for Sanchez. I just want a familiar partnership back there. Robertson off for Takatsuka, who gives us more attacking threat on the break. More familiar with our style of play. I would be tempted to take Adamson off, but I've got no one to come on for him. I don't really want to push Ivanov further forward on the left. So for now, we're going to stick with it. It's 1-1 with an hour gone. They're telling me to bring Ivanov on the left, and I might well do it now. I'm also going to change Memic at right back. Rakowski, bit more of a defensive-minded player. I'm actually going to put the fullbacks maybe on defend. Just try and see out this game. I think a point in this circumstance is a good result. We'll let the wingers fly forward, keep the fullbacks back more. Ivanov will come on the left. He will go as a inside forwards on attack. Maybe an inverted winger on attack. Don't know which one's better for him. Let's have a look at his attributes. Yeah, probably forwards better because he's not great dribbling. The final sub will be Jimenez in the middle. Kivrakidis a little more defensively minded. So with 20 to go, they're the changes on. To see if we can hold on. Well, final five, it's been quiet at the moment, and you've got to say, these lads so far have managed the game really well. They've defended brilliantly, they've been disciplined, and for now, I think we're going to start time wasting because we've got to count our losses. A point playing for the majority with 10 men here is a really good result, and I think that's what I want to hold on for. We'll play for set pieces because that's been our biggest threat. We'll slow the pace down, but we'll still counter. We'll drop that line of engagement. So even though Ivanov's further up on the left, he won't be as aggressive. Can we get the point? I think we can. I know City have won. I know Chelsea have won. I know that a win would have been better here. But 1-1 in those circumstances is great. Now Kranic can play midweek because he's certainly not going to be playing a league game for a while. Let's get ahead to Tuesday night and take our trip to Turkey, where we'll see a full rotation. Well, we're back for our trip to Turkey after our perfect start in the Champions League. And to be fair, there's probably only 2 changes to the planned team for today. The first of those is that Kranic will start because he's now not going to play at the weekend. I've got Ashley Carr in the hope that against Turkish opposition, he can get a goal or two. The last 2 times we've played Turkish sides, we've had big wins in these competitions. We're also going for Vasquez on the left because of the Adamson knock. Otherwise, it probably would have been the other way round today and at the weekend. On the bench, you've still got strength in depth. Ivanov, Takatsuka, both fresh, ready to go. Same for Parker at the back. And there's also plenty with light match load. So we'll try and keep the first team out if we can. But if we need to, they're there for us to bring on. So for now, let's go and submit the team. Galatasaray away. And hopefully a successful night in Turkey. Well, it's a 4-2-3-1 for a host today, and actually, they've got some pretty familiar names here, and I may be regretting my choices, because although we're a fair few years in, and there will be experience in this team, the likes of Doig, Garcia, and Nana, not going to be far over 30. Those of you that followed the Distillery save last year will know just how good Jamie Donnelly can be, and if you look on the bench, there's more there with the likes of Duran and Bazunu, but they've also got a few young players coming through that can really do a job, so while it's a very experienced side, it's something we see a lot with the Turkish teams in FM. They just build these really old squads, primarily of old Premier League players. But I think there will be a threat certainly in the first half. So let's go and get through to it. Hopefully this backup team is fresh enough and can do the job. It's got quality, but there are deficits. The fullback areas are not great. And out wide, we're not fully fit. But hopefully up front, the firepower's there. If we can get Ashley Carr in goal-scoring form. As Kranic breaks away down the left early. Chance to get into the box. Might go alone here. And he does, but he puts it wide. Threat against Galatasaray, though. They're not going to have as much pace there as we've got. And perhaps in behind with Carr and Kranic. That's where we get success. Just waiting for these new signings to really ignite. Sanchez not been in great form. Robertson and Carr the same. There's a couple that have settled in fairly quickly. But most just taking them a little bit of time. And of course here, we've got the new goalkeeper in as well, Spike Brits, as Donnelly goes back to Anana. In that holding midfield role, but he's pushing forward now to Doig. And I mean, when you look at this team, A lot of this would have been first choice last year. We've got a good side out, but we've not started well. And it's the man of the moment, Jamie Donnelly, star of FM23 when we took over at Northern Ireland in that distillery save. And here he's opened the scoring against Southend United. And it looks like being a nightmare away from home in Europe. We're going to demand a bit more. We've got a corner at the other end quickly as Kranjic goes up towards O'Day, headed away as far as Ashley Carr. He finds Baranda. Just need to get those strikers in. It's not quite happening for us at the minute. You would expect this to look a little disjointed. But I feel we will grow into the game. We will get stronger as Vasquez, that's a poor pass. Curley does well to win it back, but Donnelly can break away. And again, he's the man looking the threat at the moment. Ilic goes wide to Doig. We've managed him in the head coach. Know how good he can be. Kivrakidis this time, no, across to do really well. And nearly scores an own goal. Spike Brits keeps it out and finds Curley. That is not what we need at this point. 1-0 down already. Do not give away an own goal. You can just see the morale's not quite there. Branda, Ashley Carr's really struggling. I'm not sure what it is with the mentality, because on paper, he looks like a gem, doesn't he? But just not happening. He's training brilliantly, cannot score the goals. As Vasquez into the box towards Rakoski. Away as far as Kivrakidis. Back to Robertson. Another man who you feel just needs that moment to ignite him. And with 5 to the break, we've not got it. It's been a really poor first half performance. And this is a bit of a concern. It was always a risk rotating this much. But at half time, I'm left scratching my head. And again, it's the new boys who probably will have to come off. Ashley Carr, why are you stressed? Just relax. Enjoy yourself. You've got the quality. It will be him and Robertson that probably come off soon. Because I just want to get familiarity on. And in Ivanov and in Takatsuka, we've got that on the bench. As Vasquez has a corner kick into the back post. O'Day is up again and loses out. Robertson picks it up on the left-hand side. Cuts it back to Curley. Unlikely hero hits the bar. Good save. It's out to Vasquez on the right. Now Baranda goes into the box. He's been poor as well. I think we've earmarked 3 changes there, haven't we? Maybe Parker on and Rakoski to right back. I'll get the 3 others a run out as well then. I feel Galatasaray there for the taking, but we've just not had the moment. And I'm going to make those subs now. It's going to be Robertson off for Takatsuka. Ivanov for Cart with Kranjic switching sides. He owes me one as well. We're going to take Baranda off at right back. Tempted to bring on Memic, but I'm going to go Parker. Rakoski out to the fullback area. We'll make the last 2 a little bit later if we need to. Still got 2 big guns we can bring on. We'll have to watch Vasquez as he had an injury, didn't he? And with 25 to go, this has been a really disappointing night, and it's Galatasaray on the front foot again. Doig with a throw from the left to Asadi. He finds Doig. Up to the back post. Where's the goalkeeper going? Jeez, this is not good. It's a shame that it's fallen in the middle of these games. I mean, we will get through in a Champions League, don't worry, but the way this game has fallen is not helping us. Kivrakidis is struggling for fitness, so I'm going to chuck Jimenez on in the middle. And I'm going to take Vasquez off for Adamson, who should be all right for 20. We're going to go attacking now. We're going to chase this game. I know it will leave spaces, but I feel we can exploit them. You see how high they're playing here. If we can nick this back, on a counter we should be a threat. Doig carries it forward, beats his man with ease. He's had a magnificent game. Was always a bit inconsistent for us in the Bournemouth save, but doing well here, isn't he? Doig on the left, back to his keeper. Come on, let us nick the ball high up. Kavlina, wide to Doig. They're toying with us. They're literally toying with us now. They're keeping possession. They're playing round us. Ilic has just turned O'Day like he's not there. And it's fallen to them on the edge of the 6-yard box. Donnelly's shot is blocked. That could have been 2. Ivanov's then giving it away. It's so poor. This is not like us at all. Asadi's getting in. Oh, it's 2-0. I'm going to berate him. This is pathetic. The unbeaten record for the season is going. And after last year, where we barely conceded a goal the first half of season, now we just cannot keep a clean sheet. 13 shots, 1 on target. When's the last time that happened to this side? We've been so clinical so far this year. But this performance is one we very much need to forget. Because it's very quickly becoming an awful day. Rakoski's got a throw on the right. I mean, the way we are, if we score now, you wouldn't rule us out in 3 minutes of stoppage time. But this gamble better pay off. We better be good against Arsenal. Kranic is in. He does score. There's 3 minutes of stoppage time to get an equaliser. Lord knows we wouldn't deserve it. And I don't think we're going to get it. The 3 minutes have passed. It is a 2-1 defeat. And in front of goal, what a waste of so many chances there. Definitely a little bit of work to be done. And we're seeing when we're rotating that side and all of the new boys are coming in at once, it's perhaps just not clicking yet. Ivo Torres may be the exception of the new players. The rest producing a pretty pitiful performance, it must be said. Let's continue. We'll be back to face Arsenal in a minute. Hopefully, resting the team and losing this one has paid off. Well, fitness test time, and again, it's the wide areas we're struggling. Takazuka, just a small knock, but he has picked one up. And we're now down to third, having been leapfrogged by both Chelsea and Liverpool, who won convincingly at the weekend. City picked up a point, they're getting closer as well. And if Arsenal win, they will go 3 points above us too. This is a pivotal game, a must not lose, and a could do with winning, I think you would describe it as. Away at Arsenal, we know it's going to be tricky. They've still got that core of those very young originals. Waneri's now world class. Rice, Saka and Saliba still going. But they've also got other internationals. Robertson and Claremont, regulars for England, quality players. You can see Robertson's nearly at Kane's goal record. He is the best striker in the world now as Haaland is declining. Claremont the best left back in the world. It's a bit of a weird one that they've not won more in recent years, to be honest. Wonder if that will change this time. If we go and look at the team, we'll make the changes recommended, but there's probably going to be more. So let's get this 11 sorted, because we're definitely going to give Sanchez another go. We're going to persist with him until he reaches form. We are going to bring Yokolano back on the right, because I can't bear to watch Robertson flounder his way through a game again. And although Kivrakidis did well last time, Jimenez is my main man in there. On the left-hand side, we're going Vasquez over Adamson. And up front, I'm going to go for Carr over Ivanov, even though Ivanov's been a scorer this year. If we look at the bench, we could do with a bit of balance. So Parker will drop out for Baranda. And we might find a place for Casey Worcester if we can. Just looking at the wide areas, it's Adamson and Robertson. No, we'll leave it at that. We'll trust Ivanov. So this is the 11 for today. From the team that played in the league last week, it's Carr in for the suspended Kranic. I need him to deliver. We brought Vasquez back in on the left for Adamson and Yokolano in on the right because Robertson's been poor and Takazuka's injured. Hopefully the rest of it can deliver. We need a big response from midweek, and we rested these boys. It better now be worth it. Well, the Arsenal team has made 5 changes as well, so they're clearly able to rotate a bit. They've dropped Claremont out, which I'm surprised by. Erdegaard and Martinelli still going on the bench, and Unai Emery still in charge in his second stint at the club. Let's tell the boys to prove a point though. The Premier League unbeaten record is still going, but if you look at it the other way now, we've not won in 3 matches, 2 league draws and 1 defeat in the Champions League. With City coming up and Everton the game after, we knew this run's going to be hard. We really need to deliver now. With 10 minutes gone, Arsenal have had the better of it without really creating much. So let's see how the rest of the half pans out. Hopefully, a quiet one, and we can nick one of those famous 1-0s, which our defence hasn't looked like doing this year so far. Well, a quarter of the game gone, and it's Arsenal on the right-hand side, breaking into the box. You're joking. Oh, I thought he'd given a penalty. Flew into the tackle, De Angelis. I don't know why it's occurring so much now. You remember in FM23, we talked about it virtually every time there was a big match, as Waneri has hit the post here. It just calmed down in FM24 until the last update, and now it's every other game again. Rice picks it up in midfield. We're struggling to get a foothold. And you can see that they're definitely on top, though. United, 1-1 with Newcastle at the minute, although weirdly there's 2 latest scores there. One of them saying 1-0, now 2-1 at Manchester United. Bit of a weird one. 5 to the break. It's been quiet enough, which I'm happy with. But where's the goal threat going to come from? Because at the moment, we're struggling to get near the Arsenal goal. We're going to ask the boys to prove a point. We're going to hope for one of our famous strong finishes. But again, both wingers struggling physically. Carr's just not looked like scoring since he's been here. Yes, we gave him that penalty, but from open play, I'll be honest, he's offered virtually nothing. As here come Arsenal playing out from the back, something they're notorious for in this game. As Rice goes up to Robertson and now Waneri. I'm a bit worried because Robertson's not had a big chance yet, and we know he only needs 1. Vasquez, though, does really well. Clearance is aimless, though. What's Wills going to do with that? He's normally the striker we take off, but he can't be today. as Herbert finds De Angelis. We're going to have to go back to the old tried and trusted partnership because Ivanov will soon be joining Wills up front as Sadler goes out to De Angelis on the left-hand side. Inside to Bernberg. That's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal from De Angelis. It's going to cost us a goal. When Airy goes in, absolutely awful. Of your own making. And when the big games come along at the moment, we're falling apart. I'm so annoyed at how that's gone in. It's so unnecessary. And we've given them an opportunity. They've not had to carve us open. I'm going to make the changes now. I'm going to do both wingers. Yocolano for Robertson. Adamson for Vasquez. Carr's coming off for Ivanov. In midfield, bar Bernberg, no one's really offering much, but I'm going to stick with it. I mean, Sanchez has had a better game, which is the positive. De Angelis has obviously been at fault for the goal, but had been good aside from that. And now with 15 or so to go, what do we do? Memic is struggling. Jimenez is on a booking. And Robertson's got a dangerous free kick, which Memic heads away. Can we now break? Because here goes Adamson. We've got 2 or 3 getting forward on the right. You've got to play it. You've got to play it. Pass the ball. Adamson. Ivanov. Oh my God, he's missed. How have you missed that, Teddy Ivanov? Jimenez will be replaced by Ivo Torres. No, Kivrakidis. And we'll take off Memic for Rakowski just because I'm trying to protect him. He's come back from a very long injury. Oh, Teddy Ivanov. He's actually been in decent form this year. You cannot miss that. You cannot afford to miss it. De Angelis has got a throw on the left to Adamson. We're going to encourage the boys again as Kivrakidis to Sanchez. Support on the right from Rakowski. Plays into Robertson, who's offside. I can tell you now, Wills hits the bar. It doesn't matter. The flag goes up. It was more than a fraction early. We've got the higher expected goals. We've had more of the chances. But we're 1-0 down. We've gone attacking. We're trying to chase this into stoppage time. There's 6 minutes of it. But we don't look like scoring. We've not got our main goal scorer. And that Kranjic red card is more important than we knew. A 1-0 defeat. I think the first time we failed to score this year, if I'm right. A very frustrating day indeed. 3 points off Liverpool and Arsenal. 1 off Chelsea. The defence and the maintaining the quality is proving harder than winning the title to start with. Let's have a look at the schedule. It is the first time we didn't score. And it's a very worrying trend because, as we mentioned, it's going to be back-to-back triple headers because the next 3 games are no easier. City at home in the Carabao Cup, Everton at home in the Premier League, a regular in that top 7 now. And then Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, who have got the next best striker in the world probably. The 45 million defender, our director of football tried to sign on deadline day. And a second in the group, having won all their games so far. Not going to be easy for sure. If you enjoyed this one, though, seeing us suffer for the first time in a while, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of the red card curse. Have you noticed it return since the last update? The big games, we seem to be getting a lot of reds now, despite changing nothing tactically. If you want to stay up to date and see if it happens in the next 3 big games, thankfully they're all at home. And please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back on Saturday to play through all of those, but between now and then tomorrow, we return with January transfer deadline day in the coach's head. Will our director of football be able to do any more business, or will we have frustration in the Netherlands? Come and join me to find out there. There's also links in the eye above to the Twitch channel and the football podcast. You've got loads of content over there, and we're going to be doing loads of Euro 2024 watch-alongs. But thank you very much for watching, for being here for a big triple header. It's not gone to plan so far. We're 1 game away from a crisis if we go 5 without a victory. Join me next time to find out if we enter crisis mode when we face City in a Carabao Cup.